The camera. Should have the camera.
On my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my bag, but you could. I look fly, I look too good. Put that on my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my bag, but you could. I look fly.
The board entry fee is the shipping and handling tax. So we don't mind paying the $100 for the effect.
So welcome. We are here with another one. I'm trying to bust this out very consistently, and I have my lovely guest and friend, London Margiela here, legendary London Margiela.
Yes.
And so I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This has been something that's very special I really wanted to have. And thank you for having this set up for me.
Yeah, no. I mean, when I first started doing this, you were actually one of the first few people that, especially when it came down to me, doing tributes and editing and stuff like that,
Yes.
I definitely was just really happy to see you at the light when you was on Legendary. And I thought, I was just you know what, why not? People usually do the same tributes for the same people.
Absolutely.
And it just felt this is why not? So,
Yeah.
And it just helped me just get into the whole editing grind and everything too. So so you're kind of definitely in part of that, my whole journey of just getting to this point right here. So
yes. And you're doing an amazing job.
Bitch, I'm
studio
trying.
set up,
girl.
I came here, I'm oh, this is cute.
Yeah, bitch, because we gotta elevate each other. The people from the community gotta elevate each other. No shade.
Yes,
That's
we
a
do.
larger conversation at hand, which
No
we're gonna get
shade.
into. So let's start. Let's just get into it. So I want to talk about you being a Vogue femme in mainstream, because I haven't had really a mainstream conversation, mostly just Kiki girls, because I've been in that scene mostly. You was part of the Kiki scene too.
Absolutely.
You have your own Kiki house.
Yes.
So let's get into why you started, the name of your house, and how that came about.
Yeah, so when I first heard about ballroom period, I was at home and I was watching Vogue Evolution off of America's Best Dance Crew. And I at that time I was studying hip hop, break dancing, stuff like that. But I wanted to be into a role that was more feminine. I always saw myself as a video vixen back when I was small.
Really?
You know,
well, it was in the early 2000s. It was given.
Yes, Sierra had one
Good
to step in and Promise and everything. So I was putting on stuff from my mother's closet, putting her heels on and stuff like that. And I was playing in it.
Right.
But I never thought there would be an actual lane that I can be mainstream with it. And, so as I saw Vogue Evolution, I saw that I can be able to display my femininity side and then also be masculine as well whenever I wanted to. So my friend Pinky, as you said, Pinky Louis Vuitton, he came into Springfield, Massachusetts. Both of us born and raised there. And he was just if you're going to come into the ballroom scene, you have to do your research and everything. So I fell in love with Prince Milan. Okay. And from there, I was just able to really find my stride, and that's how I found Vogue Femme. At first, I really wanted to be a twister.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. You talk about masculine and feminine at the same time, but you pick Vogue Femme. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna be a twister, but back at that time, you remember I was a little more skinnier.
I was looking at the clips, and I was like, yo, he's not a twink anymore.
Yeah, they didn't really want to see it for me because it was boy, I mean, they was just they didn't see it for me. So
let's pick, because a lot of I know the mainstream critiques have to be so much harsher, especially when it comes to Vogue Femme. And you being tall as well, a tall boy, because from what I've learned of Vogue Femmes and the history of it, it was very much short boys, type of tea back in the 90s and stuff. And it wasn't until Charles and the Toro came about, kind of impulse. Chip, Paul Kahn, rest in peace, that kind of broke the barriers for the tall boys to come out and do their thing.
And Kitty too, because Kitty,
yes.
Marquise,
the tall girls just came in and did their thing.
Yes. And I'm 6'7", so for me to try to be in these Vogue Femme outfits and bend up and all that,
and heels at that too,
right? And the thing is, I fell in love with that. I felt the art of all that, and so especially wanting to be that video vixen, I said there will be nothing in my way to make sure I accomplish these goals. And so as I came into the ballroom scene, my friend Robert Goodpeoples, He was this. You remember him?
Yeah, he does the drinks now.
Yes. Herbalife and everything. Yes, God. Shout out to you.
I was talking about doing that. I mean, well, drink, but yeah, no,
yeah.
Yeah.
And from there, he was just like, Vogue Evolution's gonna be in Boston. He's like, they're gonna be on the panel, and he's like, I really want you to come out here and try it. So mind you, I had just got fired. I got fired because I went to go follow this passion a little bit because my friend Kumari, shout out to you, baby. She hired me as a dance teacher, but then when Robert Good Peoples was like, come to the function, I went straight from college. I went straight on the bus, got my first Peter Pan bus ticket to Boston because I was in Springfield, so it's like an hour and 40 minutes. And once I got there, I remember going to Filings, finding some like stocking fish nets, whatever. And mind you, it was inside of a church. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I always think it's spicy when it's done in a church.
But that's another reason why I call myself a saint, because my ballroom career was born in a church, which is sanctified. And so that's another piece of like people didn't know.
Can I ask also too, because I know one of the like venues that be in Boston that I feel like I frequently see in clips like all the time. Is that a church or is it just?
Yes, so that one is probably the one that you're seeing. It probably did close down now. But there was like Bagley's used to be inside of a church. Glass wasn't really inside of a church, but then there was another spot called the Villa. I guess it was a multi-purpose place because they had regular organization events as well, but then also they had church there and also like, you know, singer concerts and stuff like that. So Boston's always had like, you know, venues that are inclusive.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really different out there because I didn't expect us to be inside of a church voguing, you know?
Right.
And so when I got there, Naomi, Deshaun, Prince, and Malachi were all on the panel. And I got my 10s and everything, but I lost to Jomi, which is Orichi.
Yeah, he's a twist now.
Now Muna,
I don't know.
shout outs to Bugsy. But yes. So once I was able to get into Vogue Femme, get into the lane, my father, Tio Escada, he had just moved back from Chicago. And he was just like, he wasn't into ballroom at the time, but then he saw a lot of talent out here. So I went to a CT practice. Shout out to Aladdin. He was also my brother for Escada for like many years. And he had a practice and Tio was there. And he came up to me and he was just like, you can Vogue, but you don't have no personality. And for him to tell me that, I was able to trust him because I needed somebody to speak truth to me and not just, oh girl, you ate, and then it's not together. Yeah. Exactly. So, but my father really did pour into me, you know what I mean? So, I don't know if you've been seeing those posts like, this one discovered me. Yeah. This one brought me. This one poured into me.
Do that, but I want to say I poured into myself. I don't want to offend people, but but yes.
Yeah. And so I tagged my father into it because he really brought me. He discovered me, and then also poured a lot into me because he made sure that every practice that we had, we was making sure we were breaking down into what our category stands for. He changed my look because at that time I used to wear big baggy pants. I used to be in a closet DL. Shit. I'm in my DLL, like so
true twist.
You're right. And he was like, why you got these tight shirts and these baggy pants? He's like, yeah, change all that. Everything has to make sense. And then once I started learning that style, then also that kind of flew into my Vogue a little bit. And
no shit, he was your manager.
Yeah, period. Yeah. And sometimes he would even be upset with me because he'd be like, why do you keep going to all these different cities? At a certain point, I was just traveling. I was just going. I went to Texas. I was voguing in Philly, DC, LA, just different places. And he was just like, you need to just come home and focus. At that time, I wasn't really balancing real life and ballroom. I was kind of like chasing for ballroom. And as I told you, I lost my teacher job. Yeah. So it was just like, he was like, no, I need you to focus. I can't live for you on the floor if I can't live for you in real life.
That is such a gem.
Yes.
For somebody to do that for you. Like, because there aren't many of leaders that is cut like that nowadays.
No.
Especially, like, There's not many, and there ain't many in the Kiki scene. I'm pretty sure ain't that much in mainstream either. Right. So yeah, shout outs to him for that, because that is a father. Yeah,
he really like he actually created a whole generation for us. Like, if you really look at New England now, you have Damien, Chocolate, you have Little Baby. There's so many of us that was Escadas, and now that we're apart, we're kind of like grooming the new England scene. Yeah. So it's so beautiful to watch now.
So speaking of the New England scene, right, in comparison to the other sectors as far as like the Midwest, the South, even New York City.
Yes.
Now, this I've actually been wanting to actually just for like a little while and pick your brain about this, because the way that people, I feel like from the outside, like sees New England, like as far as like competition wise, is not the same as they way seen it in Philly or New York.
Right.
Some people may think of it as, at least from the way I've grown to see how people's perspective of New England.
Yes.
At one point that they was just going because it was like easy money from New York City. Then you just go over there, get your easy win, get your coin and dash. Yep. But like it wasn't given like, this like consistency as far as like New England having their own like scene
and their
per
own
se,
talent and
right.
And that's why I fight so hard every day to like make sure that because we have like a New England revamp page, and I'm very like, a lot of people want me to be quiet and they don't want me to speak out, because like just the other day somebody was sorry to talk about this situation because I know it's under the rug under the water, but
right.
I was just telling her, like, she was 3 months or 6 months into walking Vogue. She's a cis woman, non-melanin person. And I was just trying to let her know, like, you need to take your time. And yes, when I said it on a post, I didn't disrespect her, I didn't degrade her. I was just like, listen, honey, I don't understand what's the rush is, but take your time. Because it took me 6 years to even think about if I wanted to do a workshop.
That's what you're leading into?
Yes.
Oh,
and
no. I'm sorry, because I don't think we need to tiptoe around that. This is our space, no shade.
Right.
They are guests here. They are guests here,
right.
And there's a lot of that going on. Yes. There are a lot of people coming in for 2 seconds, learning the elements in one class, and then going out and spreading all this misinformation.
Right.
The teachings and how Tio poured into you, they're not getting the same thing. So how are they going out there?
And that's what I'm so worried about, because I'm telling her, I'm like, listen, the reason why I'm trying to like explain this to you, and I had an open discussion, because a lot of people are going to New England since we're not as known for like talent and stuff like that. They think they can, I'm trying to open the doors for other. I'm like, baby, you are barely in the door, and that's not disrespectful.
You're scratching it.
Yes,
with one finger.
I want you to enjoy your journey, and I want you to get in, learn. Because like for me, before I became a instructor for Vogue, I wanted to know like what kind of texture of shoes feel on different types of flooring and staging.
That's very important.
I wanted to know how I felt from a virgin 6 years later, like if my body felt different. What
you got to know whether, if not, you would tap in whether if you have shades.
Yes.
If gloves is your thing, the styling
tight
of your
clothing or loose
clothing. What beat is gonna make you feel it?
Exactly.
What chant is gonna make you feel it?
Exactly.
No shade.
And so that's why I'm very like big on like trying to protect New England a little bit, because like we have been trying to grow, and this time around I feel like there's a lot of talent coming from here. So I feel her. I know she wants to have like that motivation of getting our and that's why we had a very beautiful talk, and and it reconnected us to understand like we're both passionate about this. And I'm like, but you just get in here, just relax. We got some people here.
Yeah, we have people here.
And we're gonna fix that. And so but as far as talent in Boston and how, because if you think about it, a lot of people won their first $1,000 from New England.
Well, yes. Like that was the thing. I mean, I remember there's been times where there's been like $1,000 in New England, and let's say you're bowling Philly for the same thing at the same time. And people would kind of strategically be like, well, I'm just gonna go to New England, smash this 1,000, and then type of thing. And I always was just like, I don't like. So me watching clips, and I've been watching clips since 2006 on Shade, since it came on YouTube, and I've seen some of the greats, the Foxies and Dations and all that stuff, and these balls happen in Boston, and Roxy and all of them, and like do their thing. So I've always was like in my mind, growing up was just like, okay, like there's a functioning thing, the girls is there, So to see once I guess I became of age, and my peers was looking at it as like an easy, quick 1,000, you go to New England, it was just kind of like, was that always the case? Like, how did we kind of get to that point? So,
and I feel like because since Boston's so small, and this is also another argument I've been trying to have with New England. Boston feels sometimes, and this is not a dig at Boston. This is just Boston sometimes feel like everything needs to happen in Boston to be part of New England scene. But if you say New England, it's Connecticut, Maine, Vermont, Providence. Who am I saying?
Wow. Yeah, all of the...
And Northampton, New Hampshire. So it's like there's 6 states that come together to make New England. Right. And when we look at like cities like New York or like a Philly, all boroughs come together to create, their scene. Right. And so that's why I'm trying to like let Boston know, it's like you have to expand your horizon if you really want to grow our region.
Yeah, true.
And so even that's why sometimes I'm throwing balls in like the most random places in Massachusetts, is because I'm trying to open and find those new talents in those areas, and trying to open like, that door for all of us to have that great competition and really rise to the occasion, so people don't take us no more as like a quick, easy 1,000. Because now we got people like Bleach, we got Trixie, Puda, we have Lexi. All these people are just very creative in their zone. Shout out to Lucky and Leah. Like, they're really doing it. So now it's like, it's just in time, because now they're, right now they're all becoming stars. And pretty soon when it becomes statements, I feel like it'll be a better time for New England.
So now, but your journey as one of the leading New England Voguers.
Yes.
Do you feel like the other Vogue fans respected you when you was like traveling out? Because, I was looking at some clips, you know what I mean? And like, you did Battle Malaysia. I didn't realize it was 9 years ago. Yeah. That was a long time ago. Yeah. That's like, man, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
And so 2014, how was that experience when you battled her and won?
Yes. Well, I mean, that was everything for me.
Yeah.
Because I grew up watching Malaysia as well. Cassandra in Malaysia.
Yeah, town.
Tour, going to all these different balls. Shout out to you, Malaysia. Like, you're amazing. And rest in peace, Cassandra.
Yes, they inspired many people.
And like, he was with Pink Ladies with us.
Yeah,
so his presence is always like beautiful. But just to be able to go against her was an honor. Like, win or lose, I was just going to be happy just that we had this moment.
Yeah.
Because like people kind of fail to realize that I want that competition. Like, I want people to like, that's why I travel so much, because I wanted that competition. Because nobody was coming to Boston, so I'm like, I'm gonna come find you then. Let me come out to you. Like, what's good? So, but coming out in Boston and or in the New England scene, I felt like since I was trying to kind of rising to the occasion, it kind of made people that were already established and with the name of Vogue Femme in this region, they felt like I was going against them. But I'm just like, I'm not trying to go against you. There's so many people coming against us already. I'm just trying to have a seat at the table so we can rise, and then we can, conquer
have
together.
Our talent here be respected by the people from outside.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah.
And they never, I mean, now
looked at as a sellout.
So it's just like, I felt like it was always, I was alone, because like home didn't accept me, and then out of town didn't really accept me either.
Yeah.
But it wasn't going to stop me, because I felt like I really care for this art, and I really care for this culture. And I wanted to also leave my footprints behind as like some of the greats as well.
So I want to pause on that, because I do want to add too, because like you was also going to New York City, and you was walking out there and like going to Esco's and things like that.
Yes.
And so because Esco's not around anymore, a lot of girls don't understand how like what that was for like so many people. What was your experience like being in like walking in Escos and being around in that culture?
It was everything for me because like I learned so much because like remember in the beginning it was like the Vogue Nights, everybody used to party and it would be like a little like everybody had music on and everything. And then like the lights would turn on and everybody would like move to the side.
I didn't know where to start.
I was able to like mesh and be in like all that energy and like seeing like Monster at his like, you know, just very like his open 5-star walking around.
It'd be like because the girls were there like on a consistency. Yes, you would see the Naomi's and all these other Grace and Malaysia battle come on a consistent basis. Like
I loved it.
And it'd be such a starstruck moment because you really, I mean, like with the sound system and then Jack and South and like it's like
Selvin, I miss him. And
yeah,
Jack, and like I missed them being on the mic.
Oh my god!
Like, and even Greggy V,
Greggy V, Lanvin,
yeah, like, and I love Deshaun.
I love him.
Deshaun, and shout out to Deshaun because he's also another person that was pushing me, just like outside of ballroom. He was pushing me in ballroom, like mainstream platforms, you know. So he tried to do Kings of Vogue with us, which was like consist of like Baby Hurricane, Malik Mugler, Elzon Ebony.
See,
like
I forgot about Elzon.
Yes, it was from
Elzon. No shade. No shade.
And so it's like that, like those moments, and especially at Escos.
Yeah.
Like it was just iconic just to be in the room. Like the sound system, the ballroom throwbacks being all the time. You get the
let out right after,
it was amazing. But like me coming into that, I knew I wanted to be able to like appreciate, but also come fuck some bitches up.
Yeah.
Like, I want to put some foots on neck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I still feel like I got a lot more to prove. Like right now I've just been handling like a lot of life things, you know what I mean? Like my grandparents no longer are, you know, moving and walking. So I'm like their arms, legs, eyes, you know what I mean?
It's a responsibility.
Like, so right now I just had to put a lot of things on hold just so I could take care of home.
Right.
But after that,
he's back outside. He's back outside.
Yes, God.
So I want to get into one of the other battles that I was reviewing, and it was between you and Boom, legendary Boom as well. That was a little very cute moment too, and I was it was a key because I was looking at the comments, and it was just like, oh, she was so good. She's like,
those comments, those comments go crazy.
They go crazy. They go crazy. There's no training with that. Trying to deal with those damn comments.
Absolutely not.
But how was that for you? How does it, being the fact that, you know, you are a talent, you coming from a state that they don't really respect as much, and, you know,
it made me hungry.
Say it again?
It made me hungry.
It made you hungry. And now, you know, when you battle these girls, you get them, and they, like, how do you take the response when it's like, like she got me from like,
I would just be like, I'll eat you again. It's like, if you want to restart the beat, we can do this all over again.
Yeah.
But like, just even when he didn't want to give me a hug, it was just like behind the scenes. I know me and him was like, you know, good friends.
Okay.
But like on the floor, it gave like, oh, I'm not gonna, because you know, Boom. Every time he beats somebody or loses, he's just like,
I mean, some people can play that shady role and let that be their performance and do it well. And some people don't really understand the depths of that. They do be like, oh, he's just so loser. I consider it part of the storyline.
Exactly.
No shade. Next time they're gonna battle is gonna give.
And they forget that there's four flavors of cunt, right? It's the mean girls, stunty
cunties, the banshee,
and pretty white woman.
Yes.
And then all together is pure puss.
Yeah.
And so Boom falls under that mean girls.
Yeah, the mean girls.
You know, he would come over there, he'll play with you and like
with boots and all of that.
And then go into a dip. It's like, he's different. I live.
But it's just a key because like nowadays people are like, oh, you got to hug. It looks nasty when you're doing that. And I'm just like, but if y'all hugging, but like if y'all friends outside of that and hugging, then like I don't think it needs to, you know what I mean? Like we need the storyline. Like
exactly.
We want your money.
And it made us. And honestly, if we ever battle again, people understand like the last time we battled, we
Yes.
left off on that note.
Yes.
So it brings that energy again.
Yes.
So you're like, oh, so is this bitch gonna come and fuck
But
this
see,
bitch up?
that's
Like,
what Jack and I think Selvin was so fab at, was that they would set up the battles and it would just create this story. Like, you know what I mean? For everybody to like watch and follow and like stay tuned to, which is dope.
That's very important because
Yes,
I think that's
it
what we're
is.
missing
Yes.
out of like this era.
Yes.
It's
Everybody wants to be did and everybody wants to battle everybody, which is cool and all. But I don't want to see a nasty match.
Right. And I kind of miss like the element in the story.
Yeah.
Like, because I know people are more into like the stunts right now.
Yeah.
It's giving very much Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Sure. But
kick bang, yeah.
But you know,
right.
I'm missing those moments where Jack and Selvin used to make it very spicy. And like, you remember when like Star beat Laomi?
Oh my God.
And it was just like, oh, wait, hold on.
No shade. I remember being little and watching that, just following Laomi. And then I didn't even know Star because like Star was like a Vogue fan, was a Butch Queen.
Yep.
So when I first seen that happen, I was like, who is this giving Laomi a run for her money? It was like, I was gagging, but that elevated Star's career so much.
Yes.
So, and like you said, like it's not really those transitional moments where it's like, oh, the torch is being passed or somebody's like, you know, like that story element. Like you're saying.
Absolutely. I'm missing that. And I need that to come back.
No shade.
So like all the commentators, y'all do an amazing job. I just want more of that storyline. Like last time this bitch was, you know, it was her. Remember, and even Kevin used to do it too.
Yeah.
With Laomi and Feminine Destruction. He's like, last time he said, you only won because your hair was tied up. Like, I need those things. Like, those is what we're missing.
Because like, and it loves it because like, I live for that too, because especially because you know after a battle, the girls is talking. You know the girls are talking after a battle.
And
like,
you know the actor said.
You know, oh, she only won because that girl's on the panel. Oh, she only won because she left the house. Like, it be so much. And so when you bring it to the floor, it adds so much element. It's so much seasoning.
Yes.
When it comes down to that.
Because like we're cooking, but it's that seasoning, we need that.
No shade. Somebody got to stir the pot. Yeah, the ingredients. Somebody got to stir it.
No shade.
Like, no shade.
Like the chefs and the commentators are the chefs, so they need the chefs.
Yeah, like y'all need to.
Like, you know.
No shade.
Entree. Yes. You know what I mean? Make it cuisine.
Like, for real. Like, it all plays a part in it. But I think, like, again, because of that, we can have this conversation. You get what I'm saying? Like, but nowadays, it's like not really necessarily the case. So I'm going to transition now into the experience with Legendary because, as we said, you know, your experience that not really like pretty much being outcasted, you know, the black sheep of, you know, both sides of the spectrum. Bam, headlights, Legendary. Like I was part of the extras a few times. So I was gagging when like, you know, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Culture-wise, I was like, this is fab. Like seeing y'all dressed up to the T like that, it's like no shade. Like, cause ballroom can give that. Like, but you know, like,
they ballroom kind of like shapes you, you know what I mean? And it kind of shapes your character and your like the way you present yourself to the world. Because like back in the day, I went, you know, like I was like wearing the baggy jeans and tight shirts, you know what I mean? And so since being here, it's just like we were able to grow off of that. But definitely getting into like Legendary, that was like one of the biggest blessings because like I'm still like getting the fruits of my labor from before Legendary and being on Legendary.
Right.
Because like right now I'm able to focus just on my career. Like right now I'm doing touring with the St. Mortis, of which I founded the house. I forgot to say that. I forgot to say that. I founded the House of St. Morta, which is also Saint means pure, Morta means death and sin. So and I'm a Gemini, so I need that balance.
Me too. Oh yeah, that's right. And bitch, I forgot that we share the last name as well.
Yes, Lewis.
Yes, I forgot that too.
So we might be cousins.
No shade down the line. The ancestors.
And I feel it.
They could have been broken down.
No shade. And now we just carrying it on.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
It's
you know, like, no shade. I believe in that. No shade. But yes.
Like I'm able to like just focus on like my art and my creativity and what comes to my mind. And that's how we did on the show.
Yes.
Like, so when I was bringing my babies onto Escada on that platform, people didn't really understand Escada anymore because it used to be a bigger house.
Yeah.
It was like it was like a Mason Margiela back in the day. But now it's like, you know, it took its course, and it's a beautiful, and they're still my family. Like,
yeah.
It's just that, well, I don't know if I should get into that yet.
I will. Yeah. It's experience on
yeah. But like, they're still my family, and they're still like beautiful and everything. But bringing them onto that platform, all these other houses didn't think that we was a threat. And that's why they ended up becoming very upset with us as we was like, you know, coming up. Yeah. And then they also try to like,
that too.
They tried to
diminish,
downplay, and like
water down,
degrade, and because they're trying to say we had a secret choreographer, and stuff like that. And I'm like, and Peter, if you're out there, I need you to comment under this.
Confirm.
He was a virgin at the time, and I just want, because like, as Tio showed me and poured into me, I'm now pouring into my kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he was, he used to travel for work, for like medical and everything, and he was placed in Connecticut because we filmed in Stamford, Connecticut.
Yes. Yeah.
So he was just like, can I just watch the process? I just want to see it. And we let him watch. And then all these other houses, like, they got a secret choreographer. I was like, how can we learn from a person that is like, in his virgin stages? Like, I'm like, y'all like really put this together, you know?
Yeah.
But it was beautiful to see them like kind of gag off of it, because like now we was on top 3. I seen a lot of houses leave. Yeah, you know. So, but I felt like on that show we was also allowed to put our dreams to like reality.
Yes.
Because like, if you see when Twilight came out with the blue dress, he had dreamed of that before, on like probably 2 days before.
Really?
Yeah. And he was sitting there and he was like, I'm dreaming, and rest in peace to his, you know, he had like a death that happened in his life.
Okay.
And the blue was their favorite color. And so like he was able to make that all happen and end up winning grand prize that day. You know, so
that is so like,
yeah. Like
orchestrated.
We were so able to like, because one thing I always wanted us to be was we resonated with our art and ourself and our being. Because like that's the only thing that's gonna get us through life. Because if people follow their purpose, they will not be as weird and weak.
Oh my God!
Like
said it.
It's like,
because they like to project that onto so many other people who are authentic. And that's another thing too, because you are authentic, you've always been consistent with your energy, and I can totally validate that. Even like now, just even after that, you know, legendary. These people whose personalities changed, these people who felt bigger than and grander than, and was on Facebook and just shunning. You know what they get when they get a touch of little camera time.
Of course.
So, but I live for that, you know, you was grounded in being authentic, and you know, and you see it. Someone is gagging, it's like, yeah, because I'm not a nasty bitch. That's why.
Exactly. I really have a kind heart. It's just that, you know, as Geminis, once we are taking our kindness, because you were very outgoing. We're outside, we're drinking, we're getting lit. We go, where's the party titty out? Like, you know. Like,
no shade.
You know, but then there's people that feel like you can't say no. Yeah. And that's when the issue starts to come. And or it's like they think that they can't be beat. But my father used to always tell me, anybody can get got. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's all depends on your night. Yeah. So it was just beautiful to see people. I made them eat their words. I remember them saying like, what do you call it? Escadas don't deserve to be here. And mind you, being so sweet to us in the back, like, give me a hug. I want to feel in your body and all this. But then on a camera,
big mommy now.
Yeah, they're like, they need to get home. Like, it's kind of gotta go now. And that's when I had this thought. I'm like, okay, Legendary is going off of like presentation, right? And I felt like we didn't have a production look, a ballroom production. So that's why on episode 3 at the Circus Berserkers, I was just like, no, fuck all that, like just trying to do routines all the time. Let's bring it back to ballroom. Yes. And so I had each of the kids come out as an element, but almost like, you know, they're getting their 10. Yeah. And then we all came at the end and come together. Because remember the Mugleres at the New York Awards Ball? When it was like Naima.
Oh, yeah. When they came out in all black and Kamari was in it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I live for
absolutely. And you saw how like, it was like one by one. All came together. I was so inspired by that. Shout outs to the Mugleres.
all on
yes, like and
carried.
he's iconic. Like,
Down.
So, I woke up. We was at Cheesecake Factory in Stamford, Connecticut. I was like, yo, mind you, we were in mid eating food. I'm like, y'all, we need to do a production. We need this. Like, cause I said, if we're gonna do a ballroom show, then this is the first season. I'm like, we got to show ballroom.
Yeah,
we're like the heart of it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so
no shame.
And that's how we end up doing that. And then once we won that trophy that night, it was game on.
Yeah, because y'all won several, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we had 10 episodes, I think. Right.
But how many trophies did y'all win? Do you remember?
No. We only won twice.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we only won twice. But like we've been like up in like the third place or fourth place, but like it was like the first time we actually won the trophy.
I think so I really was gagging for the same reason of like probably many people were gagging. It was just like, you know, like Escada was like a powerhouse at one point, and then like it became what it was. And then people was sleeping on the house basically. And so to see that, I was like, oh shit, like if they monopolize and capitalize off this right now, like this is going to be a nasty resurgence because of like all the things that's happening. And then the fact that you're at the face of it, it just makes so much sense because you're already the face of the house. So it was just kind of like, oh yeah, like
I spent 11 years in that house.
That's loyalty, bitch.
Mind you, it's on my neck. Like it's tattooed right in the back. Loyalty.
Oh wow.
Because I always felt like loyalty is something that it's a rare trait that people don't hold no more.
Yeah.
And so like I always told myself that I'll always be loyal to the ones that I like, you know, just paved the way or open doors for me or anything like that.
Yeah.
So and so Escada was a house that really poured into their kids. Like we had times that we just had a retreat and we would just bond, watch TV, watch balls together, go over everybody's category that you're seeing that's coming out. So we was really able to do all that stuff. But I wanted to bring you back because like when we was on the first episode, our Grand March, have you noticed we was in the black feathers and stuff?
Yes.
I called us the Phoenix because our house was dying at one point. And so I wanted us to be born from the ashes. And that's why I did that for the Grand March.
Oh, okay. Storyline. Let's go connect the dots for us. Didn't know that.
And that's why at the last episode, we end up becoming the angels because it was like our highest pinnacle. Like the Phoenix always turns into like angelic power and purity, you know? And so, so thank you. You know, and that's why, like, you know,
symbolisms.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're really gonna do something, especially that's in dance, you gotta make it art. You get to like really come from your soul.
But this is the time. Like I live for bitches that write their own lyrics. You know what I mean? That produce their own songs. That like, you know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah,
I live
down.
I live for shit like that.
Yeah, me too. And I was.
Like
yes, God.
That's God.
Yes, I live because like I feel like you can connect more to the artist.
Yes,
and because like you know
when
that's
coming from within.
And it's like you don't have to guess like, well, who the fuck wrote that for that person,
right?
Or who put that formula out for that,
right?
You know,
because you know Nikki writes her own lyrics, so that's why you go into the concert and all that.
Once I find my front row seat, I'm actually kind of Nikki. If this comes out before, I am gonna walk on that stage or at the ending. Y'all can take me out, y'all can arrest me, whatever. But as long as I'm on that stage at the end of it, yes, I'm just gonna run up there. Bam, love you, Nick. Right? Arrest me.
It gives that. Wow.
Absolutely. But